The National Broadcasting Company presents Bride and Groom.
The honor of your presence is requested at the wedding of Miss Tilda Fincy and Mr. Leonard Lincoln Cohen.
How do you do? Most cordial welcome to Bride and Groom. Today again we have a very interesting true love story which begins, at least as our bridegroom relates it,
with my visiting of New York in search of a duffel bag which I lost when I returned from overseas. I didn't find the missing duffel bag, but I did find something far better in this wonderful girl
I
beside
should
me
say
here.
so. Well, as a radiant young bride, Tilda, will you tell us about yourself?
Yes, I'm 20 years old.
Where were you born?
I was born in Yugoslavia.
Thought
and
I detected an accent.
I lived in Italy for about 7 years. I came in the United States in 1950. And presently I'm attending Hunter College of the city of New York and majoring in foreign language.
What are you going to do when you get your degree?
Oh, I either plan to teach or maybe work as an interpreter.
What languages are you studying?
Oh, Italian, French, Spanish, and some Latin, naturally. And I talk Yugoslav at home. At
That makes about 5 or 6 languages. What's your history, Leonard?
Well, I'm 27. I attended the University of Akron and graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. Went overseas and was stationed at General Hospital as a social work technician. Returned in 52 and was discharged and enrolled at the University of Pittsburgh, where I'm presently working towards a Master of Arts degree in social work.
Yes, what do you intend to do with when you get your master's degree?
Ultimately and hopefully to work with the Veterans Administration.
And rehabilitation of soldiers.
That's
That's
right.
wonderful work. I wish you great success in it.
Thank you.
But now to your story, this all-important duffel bag, you say was lost when you returned from Germany?
That's right. I
In
made
1950?
Yes, I made
1953, huh?
1952. I made periodic trips to New York from Pittsburgh in search of the duffel bag, and on one of these trips I stayed at my cousin Iris's house, who is presently here today as my maid of honor.
Fine.
And after much coaxing and wheedling, she managed to arrange a date between Tilda and I.
You mean you had to be coaxed?
That's right. That's just about it. I had 2 finals the day after, two of my hardest finals. And I just didn't want to go, but I went, and I met Leonard, and I was very sorry I went, more sorry.
Why?
Oh, his face fell down, and he looked...
You mean when he saw you, his
That's
face?
right. It seemed like he didn't like me. He wasn't enthusiastic at all. So I couldn't do anything but I started talking to him. And after about 10 minutes, he was holding my hand.
That's better.
That definitely.
What?
And after about half an hour, he polubio me.
He what?
That's Yugoslavian, I've learned.
He m'a baisé.
And that's French.
Could I hear it again?
Oh, sure. He m'a baciato.
And that's Italian.
Could I have it in English just
Oh,
once?
definitely. That he kissed me.
Well, thank goodness. Why, that took you longer than it took Leonard, I think. Well, now, I imagine about this time you began to lose interest in the duffel bag.
That's right. I thought a lot about Tilda, and on the train trip back to Pittsburgh, I realized that she had about everything I had wanted in a wife. My feelings became much deeper for her.
What a wonderful revelation to yourself to find the girl that you were going to love and marry. What could you do about that? You were in Pittsburgh, which is quite a little trip from New York.
Well, I started to write at first about once a week, and very reluctantly because I didn't write too much. But then I started writing by midsummer every day, and finally she visited me in Pittsburgh, and that was sort of...
Got to meet your family?
Met my family, and
were they as
everyone
enthusiastic?
was enthusiastic and happy about it, and so I visited in September then, and...
You mean you came to New York again?
That's right. I came to New York and gave her my fraternity pin because I couldn't get an engagement ring in time.
I see.
And then I came back a couple weeks later and gave her the engagement ring, and we had the blessings of the whole family.
And that was in September?
And that's right.
And here it is, and you're going to be married. You skipped over something pretty doggone important. What about a proposal, Tilda?
Oh, he was very informal about it.
Informal?
That's right. He just one day asked me, "You're going to marry me, aren't you?" And I said, "Oh, I guess so."
Golly, I hope you're more definite about it today. It's too late to do anything about it. We can't turn things back. Oh, here comes Iris, the young lady who's gone every place with you. You got them together the first time. You've escorted them all through their courtship. I understand you even were a chaperone.
That's right. I'm going to finish the job today.
Yes, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
They're sitting on this bench here reminds me of another instance when they sat on a bench. They took a walk, and they took me along with them, and we wound up on Riverside Drive, and the 3 of us sat down on a bench. And even though it was midnight, I took out a glove I was knitting on because I had to do something.
Well, as a perfect chaperone, you have to turn your back. I see what you mean.
Well, John,
Oh,
excuse me for
fine,
interrupting. Here are their match keepsake wedding rings.
Very beautiful indeed. They're lovely match keepsake rings. Would you mind, Iris? You've escorted everything else. Will you take these to the best man? Having talked to Leonard here, I don't think he's in condition to handle situations like this
I don't
today.
think so either.
No more responsibility. Well,
John, may I add my blessing with a song that I'm sure fulfills the courtship of these two?
yes, you may, Phyllis.
You promised me your heart.
Matter of fact, that song played quite a part in their courtship, Phil, and now you will be leaving. I think the Reverend Alex Chapin, the cantor of the Kingsbridge Jewish Center, is waiting at the Veterans Hospital at the chapel.
You promised me your heart, and I will keep it forever. You promised me your hand, I'll hold it fast. Let me hear your voice as soft as the night, and speak of our wondrous love that shall last. I stand before you now with all the joy of contentment. The world again shall know a love divine. You promised me your heart, and forever I promise mine.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech olam, borei peri hagofen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech olam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvosav, v'tzivonu al ho'aroyos, v'yosalonu es ho'arosos, v'hitilonu es anesuos lonu, al yedei chopo v'kiddushim. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh amo Yisroel, al yedei chopa v'kiddushim. Repeat after me. Hare,
Hare,
At,
At,
Mikudeshes.
Mikudeshes.
Say the word Li.
Li,
Betebas.
Betabat,
Zu.
Zu,
Kedas.
Kedash,
Moshe.
Moshe,
V'Yisroel. Will you both repeat after me with this ring?
With this
ring,
ring,
Be thou
be
be
thou
thou
consecrated
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 unto me
unto me
in accordance
in accordance
with the laws
with
with
the
the
law
of Moses
of Moses
and of Israel.
and
and of
Israel.
Israel.
This is to certify the holy covenant of marriage was entered into between the bridegroom Leonard Lincoln Cohen and his bride Tilda Finzi. You, bridegroom, have made the following declaration to your bride. Be thou my wife according to the laws of Moses and of Israel. I faithfully promise that I will be a true husband unto thee. I will honor and cherish thee. I will work for thee. I will protect and support thee. I will provide all that is necessary for thy due sustenance, even as it beseemeth a Jewish husband to do. I also take upon myself all such further obligations for thee as are prescribed by our religious statutes. And you, bride, have plighted your troth unto him in affection and in sincerity, and thus have taken upon yourself the fulfillment of all the duties incumbent upon a Jewish wife. At the conclusion of the marriage ceremony, it is customary for us to break the glass to remind us of our temples of old which were destroyed. Prior to that, let us bow our heads for the benediction as we say, Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Yoer Adonai ponov elecha v'choneka. May the Lord cause his countenance to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. Yisu Adonai ponovelecha v'yosem lecha shalom. May the Lord cause his countenance to shine upon you, be gracious unto you, and give you health and happiness and peace throughout the days ahead. Amen. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
Those two very fine and happy young people, and intelligent young people, will never forget that moment.
John, I think they'll relive every vivid moment of this wedding day when they receive that talking motion picture film of their wedding.
You know, Phil, they are both very finely educated young people, and
Why, Professor Nelson.
You think I'll do?
That's wonderful.
How's your IQ?
Well, I don't know, Professor. Test me.
All right, we will. What is the name of this nationally famous, internationally famous resort?
Grossinger's, in the heart of the Catskills, Grossinger, New York.
That is exactly right. Very good. And what might this charming scene represent?
Oh, that's a beautiful skating rink. It is indeed. And it's the scene of Grossinger's weekly ice carnival, too.
Seems to me you've been doing some research.
It could be. And that's the beautiful dining room, of course. And here's the terrace room. Oh, there's other entertainment, too, that includes variety shows and musicals.
Well, will Tilda and Leonard have a honeymoon they won't soon forget?
Oh, John, there's no doubt about it all, because through the courtesy of Jenny Grossinger and, of course, the New York State Hotel Association, they'll just live every moment of it. They'll never forget it.
Sure. Oh, one more picture.
What is that?
The finest in transportation.
No doubt about it. It's a 1954 Pontiac.
Oh, I have one more question now. Who just came in?
The newly married Mr. and Mrs. Leonard Cohen.
Leonard, forgive us. We were
Come
just
right on,
teasing in
John,
play.
if you will.
Oh, my. We have some wedding gifts for you that we wanted to tell you about. And the first one is for your home, a magnificent Lee's carpet. It's a heavenly carpet by Lee's that has several outstanding features: warmth, beauty, and safety, three very important qualities.
And these are your Westinghouse appliances. Notice the electric mixer, waffle grill, pop-up toaster, and iron. And remember, you can be sure if it's Westinghouse.
Yes, and next is a Hoover Aerodyne tank vacuum cleaner with all the very famous Hoover attachments to make your housework so much easier.
And no home is complete without a supply of these famous Jergens products.
Absolutely. And the very finest in sterling silver. It's Reed & Barton, of course. 4 place settings in your own choice of Reed & Barton's many beautiful and distinctive patterns. I see you've chosen Reed & Barton's Silver Wheat, one of my very favorite ones.
Mine, too. And this is the tap and gas range. And notice all the visual light oven and other exclusive tap-in features. And remember, good foods just happen when you're cooking on a tap-in.
Is this lovely girl able to cook as well as speak languages and look beautiful?
I'm hoping to find out.
You'll find out. Well, we will. No.
Oh, John, there's quite a reception line waiting for these two for
The
congratulations.
families and all. And
Indeed.
We'll see you before you leave on your honeymoon.
Good. You want to come with me, then?
It just occurred to me that you might be interested in reading a story about one of our brides and grooms in True Romance magazine, the February issue. Quite an exciting story about a young couple, Mr. and Mrs. Robert Bratton. He had a dream of wanting to walk again, and his dream was realized, and I'm sure if you heard the story and then watched him walk down the aisle here at Bride and Groom, you'll be interested in reading it to the True Romance magazine, February issue. Now, if any of you are planning a wedding day and would like to share it with us at Bride and Groom, just drop a line to us at Bride and Groom, care of NBC Television, New York City, and we'll be happy to send you an application form. Tomorrow's application comes from a young lady who at the age of 11 decided that there was only one man in the world for her. She had to wait 7 years to reach the happy ending that we'll see tomorrow, the same time, these same NBC stations.
Say, have you made plans yet for tomorrow evening? We've got a good idea for you. Get your family and friends together to watch the Dave Garrett